Good morning. It's another episode of Resource Radio. I am your host, Darren Martin, and sitting beside me, as always, is Ryan Parker. Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
Good. Yourself, Darren?
I'm doing good, man. What'd you do this week since we saw you last?
Oh, been busy working, the usual, trying to take care of a sick 3-year-old. My wife is an angel because she takes on most of those responsibilities while I am at the office doing crazy things with you guys.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So what is on the agenda for today? What's our show?
Today we are going to be talking about the power of networking and how we can utilize networking in our businesses to grow our businesses. Today we have two fantastic guests. We have Mr. Frank Lopo with Strafacci Law and Jason Bressler with the North Phoenix Chamber of Commerce.
How you doing, Jason?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Speak right into that microphone.
I'm good, thank you. How
There
are
you
you?
go. Perfect. How you, Frank? How are you?
Tremendous.
All right. You guys staying cool this morning in this humid weather. I wish it would rain.
Yeah, get it over with.
I know, exactly. So what did you guys bring with you today to talk about on our show?
Oh, all types of business cards and people that for you guys to connect with, and strategies and tips that can help you and your listeners be more successful in networking.
Why don't you give us a little background on yourself there, Jason?
Sure. Well, I'm currently the Executive Director of North Phoenix Chamber of Commerce, have been for the past year. I've been networking for over 15 years here in the Valley. I'm originally from New York. I've lived in Arizona for about 20 years. I love helping people succeed. I love helping make the community a better place. And every day I have the opportunity to do so. And I want to help others realize their potential and help others realize that they can make an impact in the community, and that networking is a valuable part of being successful in any business and in any part of the community.
Yeah, and Chamber is more than just a simple website. I think people that aren't involved with the Chamber and don't understand the depth of the business tools that people can get if they go to that website and become a member, and the amount of people that are, you guys have a list of people that are of like businesses that people can do business with, and you have mixers and things. Do you have anything coming up on your agenda?
Absolutely. We have a mixer tonight, in fact, over at Arena Sports Grill from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. We encourage anyone who's interested in learning more to come and attend. Literally, I'm there as well as our staff.
The guy with the case full of business cards, right? As always, yep.
As I have here on the table, and we're always looking to connect people. We're always looking to be resources. We provide that venue for people to connect with people that they don't already know, and opportunities to help their local community. We do a lot of charity work, a lot of philanthropy, and we encourage everyone to be involved.
Yeah, you just recently had your golf charity too, I know.
Yep,
last month
in April, we
April.
had our golf tournament that raised $10,000 for March of Dimes Arizona chapter.
That's good. That's really good.
Frank, tell us a little bit about Strafacci Law and yourself. You're my networking idol. I mean, you really are. You're like the guru of networking in the Valley. I don't know anybody that knows more people than you do. 10,000 contacts on LinkedIn. I think everybody should strive to be like you.
Well, thank you very much for that. I don't know that everybody should strive to be like me. I think that, the networking piece of my business it's always enjoyable from a standpoint you never know who you're going to meet. And the next opportunity could be the greatest opportunity of your life. And that's why I always look at this from that standpoint. A little background on Strafacci Law. We do debt workout as an alternative to bankruptcy for people with insurmountable debt, looking for an alternative, and having the support of a law firm behind you through that process. We've had some amazing results with some of the clients and getting some stuff done. And then just from a personal standpoint, been married for 33 years next month to the same wonderful person. Thank you very much. And have two boys who are polar opposites. One is a very quiet, unassuming, educational-driven person, and the other is a wild person.
That sounds like two of us here in the room. Oh, wait a second.
But and I learn every day from them, and just understanding. One of my I hope good attributes in networking is a listening skill of just really paying attention to people and hearing what they have to say, because if you engage and let people talk, they will tell you some great stories.
Yeah. Frank, why don't you give us an example of someone you could help? Like, give a story of somebody that came in that was distraught that you were able to turn them around.
Well, a couple things that had a person come in that just, because most of this, the problem with their debt, they take very personal, and they just can't get out of their own way to seek help and take action.
And they're a little embarrassed.
And very embarrassed.
Right.
And it's a very emotional situation for them because they all truly feel they owe the money and they should pay it. The reality is they can't. So what options they have? And so we do a free consultation, kind of walk them through that. And we're now partnering with a gal that does life skills coaching. And
That's essential, I think.
right, because I can only take them so far with
Right.
listening and having some empathy for
So you're
them.
leading the horse to water, saying on that one for
Right.
sure.
And the key is that we want them to never become a client again. That we want them to get those things in their life because they take it very personal. That they take it as I'm a failure. And I try to explain to them that you just did a dumb thing, and it's no different than driving your car and parking in the garage and you hit the garage door. That was a dumb thing. Doesn't make you a dumb person. You just did a dumb thing.
Right.
And that's why you got to look at this. That this debt shouldn't define who you are.
The guys in the office would say I do a lot of dumb things. They keep everything hot and sharp away from me, and there's a reason for that.
Well, and that's a key. It's just making sure you're not consistent with doing dumb things over and over that are the same dumb thing. That becomes the problem. That's a trend that you got to address. But in this situation, client owed $80,000 in debt. And I think next month we'll have her completely done in less than a year for about creditors.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Wow.
very, very incredible situation from that standpoint. Not all results are that good, but we're very good at what we do.
That certainly was an example. Yeah,
Right.
that's
And Frank, I listen because when we're in our BNI networking meeting every Wednesday, and yesterday you talked about student loan debt as being I know it's not a fairly new thing for you to work on, but give us a little bit about student loan debt, because I know there's a lot of business owners out there, especially doctors, dentists, those folks that when they start their practice, they're already hit with massive amounts of debt that they are taking into their business.
No question.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, on the student loan, it's another opportunity that we've come across in helping folks with. And the reality with student loans, we can't necessarily negotiate it down from where it's at, but we can get you terms that you can afford. They've got some great programs, and it's really about engagement. We got a gal that came to us. Her payments were $600 a month, and they have an income-based program that now her payment's $47 a month.
Wow.
And that makes it very affordable, makes her able to be consistent with getting her payments done and moving forward. And we, educate them in that process. So it's really a lot about, opportunities are endless from that standpoint. It's just getting people educated and then getting them to take action.
Frank, I'm going to give you an opportunity to give out some contact information here in a minute so that people can grab a pen. So we'll continue to talk, and then we'll, in a minute, get your pens out, and Frank will give you numbers to get a hold of them.
I do have a couple questions for you guys, because there's a big difference between small group exclusive networking, like a BNI, a LaTip, a Power Networking Arizona, and a chamber. Frank, I know that you've dealt with both, like I have. Let's talk about some of the benefits of both. And I just want to let the listeners know that you get different kinds of results from both types of networking. So let's start off with Jason. Give us some benefits of doing more of the larger group networking. How does it work from a branding perspective for a business that's getting started, things of that nature? And then let's equate that to the small business networking and moving into the exclusive groups like BNI, LaTip, things of that nature. So Jason, tell us a little about how you see the benefits of large group networking.
Well, the benefit is that you get to obviously network with a greater pool of people. You're not limited by one per category, meaning, one CPA, one attorney, and I think you're going to have folks that are looking for certain relationships, certain people to network with over others. So a chamber is a very open environment. It's an environment where folks are definitely looking to connect, definitely looking to, find different referral partners, because in a larger setting, you may find 2 estate planning attorneys, and maybe there's opportunities to work with both, as opposed to just limiting yourself to one estate planning attorney in one group. The chamber also is very, very involved in the community, at least our chamber is. So it's an opportunity, if you're successful in business and want to get involved in the community and want to be a part of something, definitely a Chamber of Commerce is a way for you to help your local community, to help the economy, to get involved in charities and nonprofits that really need the help. So it's definitely a different way of doing business as opposed to just a group that meets every week and is just focused on more of the business building.
If I'm new and I'm looking at a chamber for the first time, and I'm, number one, how do I find the right chamber for me? Because each chamber has their own, what I would kind of call hot buttons that make them a particular style of chamber. So going in and looking for a chamber, what are the questions I should be asking the chamber first off? And then what do I do as a business owner to make sure I'm maximizing my membership so I can grow my business efficiently and as fast as possible through those contacts in the chamber? Are there specific people that business owners that are joining a chamber should be looking at communicating with to jumpstart those relationships?
Well, I certainly encourage folks to ask questions such as, what value does the chamber provide? What opportunities can I get involved with? What opportunities can I serve our chamber so I can get more involved? Does your chamber value our opinion, our participation? That's all very, very important. In terms of who to contact, it's certainly the staff. We're here to be resources, as well as the ambassadors. That's kind of the welcoming arm of a chamber. They're the folks that bring you in, help with the new and renewing member orientation, that make sure you feel acclimated to your chamber experience. You also are more than welcome to speak with board members, speak with other committee members that have been involved with the chamber, and certainly the staff can help you, guide you with finding out who those folks are, with getting in contact with those folks. The staff obviously is the resource for the member and for the prospective member to get as much as possible out of their chamber experience. And we always say, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So if you come to the events, you come to orientation, you come ask questions of the staff, you come meet with us, it's an open door policy. We're here to serve you. We're here to make sure you get the most out of your chamber experience. And it's it's the members' chamber. So the bottom line is, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from all the members, so it becomes a chamber where your voices are heard and their voices are heard, so it accomplishes their business objectives.
So going into being a new member of a chamber, what would you recommend that a business do? What are
questions?
What steps should the business owner take to make sure that they're getting the best benefit?
After they pay their fee, what do they need to do to make it successful?
Well, obviously you need to ask the representatives of the chamber what it is that what it is that we provide so it fits your goals, finding those solutions that fit their goals. Ask questions about, hey, how can I market my business effectively? What events would you suggest going to? What folks would you suggest talking to? What members? What are good referral partners? Those are the kinds of questions you need to ask the staff, because they're going to know based on their experiences with other members in the chamber. So
and as a member, don't they get their own landing page too on the website as well, that they can kind of create and do their own thing? And also another thing on the back end of your website, which I don't think a lot of people probably realize is even there, is your tool to be able to post to Facebook and Twitter and all those community social sites with one click. You put one post and boom, it gets distributed. That's actually a pretty good tool, and that's an intricate tool to make for someone on the outside to be able to do that. So that's a great tool somebody can use to promote their business in one shot and save them 20 minutes on social media.
Absolutely. We invest in our members, and we make sure, and that's another question, what do you do to invest in your members? What benefits do you provide? What discounts do members provide to each other? So yes, absolutely, we provide a website where members can use that website to promote to other members, to promote on their social media, as you mentioned, coupons, things going on in the community that they want to promote, events. We're here to make sure that they actively promote not only to our members but to our entire database, what's going on with their business and what we can help with and our members can help with.
Right, and people need to also think outside the box when they deal with the chamber. You're not going in there to look for the one person that you want to do business with. What you want to do is you want to go in and you want to meet people. You're probably going to find somebody personality-wise that you get along with really well, and your business may have nothing to do with each other, but that person may have a whole book full of resources that you could use for your own business, and vice versa, even though, you guys have nothing in common business-wise. So, I mean, we do that a lot here at Xpleo.
Going into the chamber, I think it's very important to look at it as a branding mechanism for a business. Get your name further out into the community, become involved with the nonprofit efforts, the giving back piece of it.
Show your support on your website with the logo from the chamber and things like that.
And I would recommend, too, going into the chamber, become one of the members of the committee for new incoming members, where you can deliver the new member packages, things like that, where now you become the face of the chamber. You control the conversation with the new incoming businesses versus having to make those businesses seek you out. You're actively seeking them out. And it's a good way to get more involved and be able to start creating relationships faster in the chamber.
Yeah, and as Frank eloquently mentioned, who happens to be one of my mentors, you never know who you can meet. And ultimately...
Frank's over there scored.
Yeah, he's like, 2 plugs in one day.
I need to borrow some money from these guys.
Yeah, Frank paid me before.
Yeah. Did he give you 20 or 50? He gave me 50.
20.
Oh,
yeah.
You got gypped, Jason.
Yes. No, but you never know who you can meet. And I always tell folks, you may meet somebody that ends up being a lifelong friend, that ends up being maybe a partner in your business, an investor in your business, he or she refers someone that she knows or he knows in their network. You just never know. And we are here to make sure that all members provided with that opportunity to meet as many people as possible that can benefit
They
them.
got to be proactive, though. Let's face it. I mean,
Yes.
I've been to a lot of events, and people need to market themselves. They need to put their business card in people's hands without being sleazy. That's the key. You got to be able to pick up on people on whether or not they're interested in what you're saying, because you can lose a customer by talking too much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, Frank, tell us, with being part of an exclusive networking group with me as a BNI, and BNI, big shout out to Scottsdale Energy BNI chapter. Woo woo. Tell us a little bit about how you see the benefits of exclusive networking, where now you have specific businesses that control specific categories in a networking environment, where what we do is we look for the best of the best. Tell us how you've benefited from that. Tell us, same type questions. How does someone get involved in it? What are the things they need to do to become proactive in their membership? And at the end of the day, what are the questions they should be asking of the exclusive networking group they're looking at?
Well, the thing I always bring to people is the word is networking. It's not net fun. It's not net drinking with your buddies. It's networking. And that's why you got to look at it as part of your business. And you really have to have a strategy in your head of what is the best opportunity for me in going to these events, whether they be the exclusive group or the chamber events or just a networking event in general. What's my ultimate outcome of that? And putting some thought into that, because your ultimate outcome should be, I just really want to meet 1 or 2 people to engage, not looking for business. Because if you go to a networking event, even BNI, always looking for business, you're always going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I like to find our extended referral partners. So for me, I'm always looking for folks that can help further my business. I'm not looking for the one-time customer.
Right. And it becomes getting involved, as Darren had mentioned and Jason had mentioned, and Ryan, you're an excellent example of that as you get in any chamber or BNI group or the TIP group, one thing I always tell people in our new BNI members, try to get involved in becoming the educational coordinator, become a visitor host. Get involved in these things, because it will help you understand more about how the process works. And as educational coordinator, that was the first thing I did when I first joined, was how soon can I become an educational coordinator? And everybody said, well, why do you want to be that guy? Because I get to talk for 5 minutes. and as I would introduce myself to people and visitors coming in, I would say, look, you don't know who I am, but by the end of this meeting, you'll know exactly who I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm presenting
that
myself.
sounds like a mafia meeting. It really does. It sounds like one of those conversations I have with the guy at the local bar. Hey, you're not paying up this week. You'll know who we are.
It's called Strafacci law.
And there's a reason. Yeah, and
we get things done the old-fashioned way.
I think, Frank, I think you hit it perfectly on the head, especially with joining, becoming very active in an exclusive network. From that standpoint, it helps build the trust factor among those other individual businesses you have. It raises your trust factor faster, so the referrals in that exclusive networking environment start to spark faster as well.
And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. That's really what you have to develop in those relationships is trust with one another.
Yeah.
The people have to trust you, because most small business people, their biggest struggle in life is the control they have in their business, because it's their business, it's their baby, it's their kid. Do they want other people involved in it? And at times they miss the big picture of how they can expand and grow their business by not
Too worried about containing it.
Right, of controlling it. But as one person, you're only one person. There's only 24 hours in a day, and you can only do so much. But if you have the ability to look outside of that, and then as you meet other people that are referral partners, even in your same business, that you can't be the answer for everybody. But if you can find some partners, as Ryan always encourages, to partner up with people that can fill in where you can take things to a certain level and somebody else can pick it up from that standpoint.
I think you'll agree, if you surround yourself with successful people, you will be successful yourself.
It's a simple
pretty
concept.
obvious,
Yeah,
right?
It's a simple concept.
And it was a prime example was 2 weeks ago, Frank, you gave me a fantastic referral. You hooked me up with a nice lady by the name of Sue Malone, who's the #1 leading SBA lender in the United States by volume. And it's trickled down already. I've already referred a couple clients over to her that need some funding. It's also been some connections, around even Vets on Media have come from it. So it's been one of those things that one connection, which is not someone I'm probably going to do business with, but is a resource for my business.
Right.
It gives me the opportunity now to be able to expand my business. And that's fantastic. It's not always about getting the dollar in pocket.
It allows other people to get their business off the ground, like our friend starting his restaurant. I mean, she may be a perfect source for that.
No question, and that's exactly what it's about. As you engage and look for opportunities to help people, that's the key to it. Is, and like Jason said, that's exactly what his philosophy is. And Jason is probably one of the very best people that when he tells you he's going to do something, he delivers on it.
Yeah.
And that becomes a deal. And there's no monetary exchange given directly back to Jason. It's other than the goodwill that's being developed and the fact that you're going to talk positively and encourage people to become a member of the North Phoenix Chamber, just because you know Jason and his effort and his dedication to helping people. And the same for you, Ryan, and the same for Sue Malone, that she becomes a resource that none of us get anything from a deal out of,
Right.
other than knowing that it adds to our toolbox of things we can offer to people and saying, I can't help you, but I know somebody who can.
And as a business owner, that's the most important thing, is we're constantly trying to add value to our business.
Right.
And the biggest problem with most small businesses is they think about price. How do I cut costs?
Bottom line, how much am I making?
They're thinking all
No
these
question.
internal issues. They don't ever look outside of it and look at what their customers want. Customers want value. And if you can't be a resource for a customer, you have no value. Then it does become the race to the bottom on price, because now all you really have is your price to hang your hat on.
Right.
And that's where, if you can surround yourself with these resources.
And everybody's got a price.
And everybody does have a price.
So you got to sell them on service.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. Everyone buys on value and the benefits. They never buy on what the product looks like. They don't really care about that. Maybe if it's something that's a really high designer type thing, but for the most part, it's usually the benefits and the value that something has to offer.
Well, and you're right, but most people don't ever get to that conversation because the price becomes the #1
Hey,
opportunity.
before we go any further, we got a couple minutes before our break here. Frank, why don't you go ahead and give out some contact information for people to get a hold of you? We'll give it again later in the show if you miss it. How do they get in touch?
Couple ways. They can contact me directly. The office line is 602-889-7288. Or they can also go to our website and get a little more in-depth of what Strafacci's Law is about, and that's www.strafaccilaw.com. And from there, would encourage them. We provide a free consultation to go over things. And we're always looking to help. We may not be your answer, but we can certainly have the resources to put you in front of the people you need to be in front of.
That's good.
Jason, before we cut to break, go ahead and give us some information about the North Phoenix Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, well, thank you. You can reach us at 602-482-3344, or you can reach me at jason@northphoenixchamber.com, and our website is www.northphoenixchamber.com, and we're more than happy to be a resource to each and every one of you out there. Please feel free to contact us, and we'll be more than happy to help you.
All right, this is Resource Radio. We will be back in a few minutes after this break.